All right, this is number 38, and we're going on in Isaiah Yeshayahu. I pray you've repented. It's the Feast of Trumpets on 2012, September 18th. And picking up in chapter 29, verse 8. We just covered last time. This is your worst nightmare. Verse 7 calls this a night dream of a night vision. It's like your worst nightmare. What's coming to pass. And it shall be, verse 8, as when a hungry man dreams, and behold, he eats and awakes, and his soul is empty. And when he's thirsty, the man dreams, and behold, he drinketh, and he waketh, and behold, he is faint. Yeah, this is, he's trying to describe the worst kind of dream you could have. Stay yourselves and wonder, cry you out, verse 9. They are drunken, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with strong drink. That's what I said earlier. The people that listen to this message, it's like they're drunk. You know, when you tell them these things, it's like you're waving your hand in front of your face, and they're kind of staggering, going, "Pour me another one, will you? I could use another scotch." And this is terrible. This is because to deal with this is too much for them. They can't handle it. It's overwhelming. And apparently they haven't been killing a lamb in their backyard for Passover, and getting which really shocks you back to reality. People over there are it's like you're not in reality land. You see did you follow those news articles that I mentioned to you? The 750 million rounds of hollow point ammunition that can't even be used in battle because of Geneva Conventions, and it's being distributed through the Social Security Service and NOAA Web Service and Weather Service and all that. Those rounds, what do you think those are for? Those are for Americans. Yeah, you need to take off your beer goggles, your drunkenness, and and snap back to reality here. It's like snap out of it for you Americans. Flee. Chapter 10, verse 10, for Yahuwah has poured out upon you a spirit of deep sleep, and has closed your eyes, the prophets, and your rulers and seers he has covered. Well, there's the problem. Your heavenly Father hasn't opened your eyes because you haven't repented. And you still think these laws are kooky and crazy. These marriage laws I'm covering with you, and all the rest of them. These holidays and going on. 11. The vision of all is become unto you as the words of a book that is sealed, which men deliver to one that is learned, saying, Read this, I pray thee. He says, I cannot, for it is sealed. And the book is delivered to him that is not learned, saying, Read this, I pray thee. And he says, I am not learned. Wherefore the Almighty said, For as much as this people draw near to me with their mouth, and with their lips do honor me, but have removed their heart far from me, and their fear toward me is taught by the precept of men. You see this? The reason this book is sealed up, the reason you still can't, if you're in session 36 and you're still staying there, 37, where we're at here, and you're still there in America, is because this book must be sealed up to you. You really got to get serious. You really got to get serious. You're right on the edge of this deal. It's probably coming, it's obviously coming before October 9th, sometime between now, and we're now into the feast days. We started today, so they could drop any day. Any day. The Russians' hands are hovering over the button. Their subs are already lined up, let me tell you, alongside the coasts of America. With all that big war game that's going on over there right now in the Middle East, everything's lined up. And boy, it's going to be bad. In fact, Dmitry Medvedev has a good video out there. He tells you how he's going to take out America. I'll try to put a link up to that. But if you search on it, you'll find it. He tells a 5-point plan for taking us out. One of them is to take out our GPS navigation system. We'll take out their navigation systems. Then we'll nuke the heck right out of the West. Yeah. And our birds won't fly and all the rest of it. Anyway, this is sealed up to you because your heart's removed from him. You're probably taking interest on your money. There's one of the laws that I haven't mentioned. How about that law? You shall take no interest on a fellow countryman. Boy, I can remember someone giving me the business on that. That's crazy. What? You need to get interest. You got to get... No, it's a law. It's a statute. And it's that everyone chasing after interest, that we're going into debt and debt and debt, and this big spiraling pyramid that's going to collapse on us. It's just one of those laws. You're not supposed to take debt, not supposed to take interest on a fellow countryman. Going on, you need to start obeying all of these laws. Get dead serious about it, and maybe he'll open your eyes instead of blinding you, like he said here. And surely your turning of things, woe unto them that seek to hide their counsel. Right? Well, 14. Verse 14. Therefore, behold, I will proceed to do a marvelous work among this people, even a marvelous work and a wonder, for the wisdom of their wise shall perish, and the understanding of their prudent men shall be hid. Yep, they're going to perish all right. In that fire he was just talking about. 15. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from Yahuwah. Their works are in the dark, and they say, Who seeth us, and who knoweth us? Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work of him say that made it, He made me not? Or the thing which framed say of him that framed it, He had no understanding? What he's saying, there's these laws. He made you. He created man. He created woman. You've come from that same seed. He made you. Of course he knows what laws you ought to be obeying to have a successful society, to have a successful family, to honor and worship Him. You need to start keeping these laws instead of calling them kooky and crazy. Going on. Yeah, you got to quit the kooky and crazy. It's Christmas. That's what you got to quit keeping. 17. It is not yet a very little while, and Lebanon shall be turned into a fruitful field, and the fruitful field shall be esteemed as a forest. And in that day shall the deaf hear the words of the book, and the eyes of the blind shall see out of obscurity and out of darkness. He's talking about for the remnant to come out of this and get resettled back over there in his land. 19. The meek also shall increase by their joy in Yahuwah, and the poor among men shall rejoice in the Holy One of Israel. For the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off. Let me tell you, all the people over there that are watching for iniquity, yeah, they watch for iniquity and try to point their finger at you and say, that's bad what you're doing, and what we're doing is good. And it's all upside down. Like you said, it's the turning of things upside down. Christmas is good, and you guys doing that tabernacles is kooky. Our Babylonian marriage is good, and your scriptural marriage is kooky and bad. On and on it goes. Sunday, Sabbath, dresses, trousers, on and on it goes. Every one of them. And it says what's going to happen here. 21, that make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him. Yeah, sometimes just talking to people about this stuff, even if you don't even get to practice it, just try it, just talking. Oh, that even just for a word. They lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate, and turn aside the just for a thing of naught. Therefore, thus saith Yahuwah, who redeemed Abraham, concerning the house of Jacob, Jacob shall not now be ashamed, and neither shall his face now wax pale. But when he seeth his children, the work of mine hands, in the midst of him, they shall sanctify my name, and sanctify the Holy One of Jacob, and shall fear the Elohim, the Almighty of Israel. They also that erred in spirit shall come to understanding, and they that murmured shall learn doctrine. Yeah, so people that make it through this are going to start learning some doctrine. So, going on, chapter 30. This is still about the same thing. Woe to the rebellious children, saith Yahuwah, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. That walk to go down to Egypt, that's slavery, and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Yeah, if you don't think you're slaves over there in America, think about you're given 60-70% in taxes, and think about that last feel up and grope down you got at the airport. How much, did that really feel free? That TSA guy? Number 3, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be to your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt to your confusion. For his princes were at Zon, and his ambassadors came from Hanes, and they were all ashamed of a people that could not profit them, nor be of help, nor profit, but a shame, and also reproach. The burden of the beast of the south into the land of trouble and anguish. Yeah, jump up to number 8. Now go, write it before them in a table, note it in a book, that it may be for the time to come forever and ever, that this is a rebellious people, lying children, children that will not hear the law of Yahuwah. That is exactly what we have in America. Lying preachers, lying children that will not hear the law of Yahuwah. When you read people this law, they do not want to hear it. They want Christmas, Easter, Sunday. They want all their pagan religious things. Those are not in the law. Those are against the law. He says, do not keep the pagan holy days. Right. He told you to work 6 days. Yep. And rest on the 7th. That's the Sabbath. Friday sundown till Saturday sundown. Number 10, which say to the seers, see not unto the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. That's what's going down at your typical church. People are paying him to prophesy deceits unto them. They don't want to hear the truth. Nobody wants to hear this message. We'll pick it up next time.